Good afternoon. Happy Thanksgiving, keepers of the cash. And if you're wondering why I'm saying happy Thanksgiving, because I'm filming this on Thanksgiving. Whether you celebrate or not, I hope you had a wonderful day. But we are here because I received a wonderful AOK in the mail, and it ties into one of the most important comic book covers in my personal collecting history. And we're talking about Conan the Barbarian, issue 100. Now, this cover, to me, is just so iconic. And you see the little initials here, John Buscema and Ernie Chan. Although Marie Severin and Danny Crespi had something to do with this as well. And we're going to get into that. But a very important cover to me. This is one of the stories that really got me hooked into comics, but not only comics, got me hooked into Robert E. Howard as well. It was through this publication that I found the original Robert E. Howard's tales and the pulp stories. And I was right away captivated by Belit in this story with Conan, and that it showed a soft side of him towards her. Now, in the original story, Queen of the Black Coast, Belit isn't, she's not a soft character. She is very harsh, you could even say villainous in her aspect. You must be serving a purpose in her world and be of some use to her. And when you're not, you're an expendable. And she's a very harsh character. Now, Roy knew how to adapt her into the comics, and he made a 3-year run with her. He did know where to soften her a bit, but he kept those hard edges in there. And his interpretation of her was incredible, made perfect sense, and always felt like Belit. Now, having said that, again, this cover was my gateway into the original Robert E. Howard pulp stories. And I just absolutely love this story. I had to go back and get all the other stories that had Belit in it. And that whole 3-year run from issue 58, with her first appearance, up until issue 100 here, where she died, is just my favorite run in comics. It means a lot to me, and it led me on a lifetime of reading Robert E. Howard, and also collecting Conan in comics. Now, I did get an original Roy Thomas signature here on issue 100, sent it out to CBCS for the signature verification. Again, 1979 book, so I was 9 years old when I first discovered 8. I like to say 9, but it could have been 8 when I was first becoming aware of Robert E. Howard, but at a young age. And again, signed by Roy right here. I'll get you up close to see that. But again, a very important cover in my history. But that is not the first stage of this cover. So in Conan, this episode of Conan, issue number 41, we have a fantastic cover here by, of course, the master Earl Norham. But inside, there's an article on this cover. And there's a first image, and I'll put it over here. And while you're looking at that, I'm going to read to you what it says. It says, the first version of the cover of Conan 100 by Buscema and Chan seemed a bit mild, though beautiful. All right, so you can see that first cover. And again, a beautiful cover. But when he says a bit mild, you can kind of see that. When you read this story is full of emotion, and it's fairly savage, and a lot goes on. And when you read this story, you get the feeling of how important Belit is to Conan. So the expression on his face does seem a bit mild. And then it says, Marie Severin's cover sketch, which was then sent directly to Ernie Chan. Again, I'll put it over here. To save time and energy. And you see that Marie Severin has put a bit more emotion in a quick sketch and how they want this cover to look. All right, so John Buscema laid out first draft. Marie Severin did a quick rough draft to show that a little bit more emotion on Conan and what she wanted with the screaming face and the pain expression. And then we get another version, and again, I'll put that over here, of the second version. Almost right, certainly, but it was thought we should get John B's input since he had penciled the 33-page story itself. For the very similar finished version, consult your local newsstand before it's too late. Obviously, they were trying to sell this book back then. And I'm showing this over there, obviously. But you can see Ernie Chan's version with the cue taken from Marie Severin showed a lot more expression on Conan's face, and you could feel the cover a bit more. It was a touch more visceral, and it had a little bit more gravity to it when you looked at it. It made you feel a little bit more, and it really helped draw you in. As great as John Buscema's cover was, this one ended up just having more emotion. But then we went to the final product, and again, we showed it here. You can see the final product right here. Now with this, and we're going to show you just the regular, not the slabbed one, just so you can see it a bit clearer. With this, you can see on Conan's face the hurt, the anguish, the horror. Belit dead. You have the ship in the background. The treasure's there. Now, I'm going to show you this version here, and then you'll be able to see the differences. Now, when I showed you Ernie Chan's version up here, and I'll put that back again, you can see that Belit had boots on. The treasure was different. The angle of her head was different. The pirate flag was different. The sails and the mast and the rope coming down, all that was a bit different. If you just looked real quick, you probably wouldn't notice it, but there was a ton of differences on that cover. But without further ado, we've delayed long enough. So I said I had an AOK that tied into this cover, which is so historic to me. And this AOK is from someone who's become a good friend over the last year, and that's Mr. Mark Andrews from Canada. Just a great dude, very knowledgeable dude, and he spends a lot of time on my channel now. He's become a friend. I have him co-host. He's been a guest quite a few times. Even if he's just visiting and he's in the chat, he's given us input that really contributes to what's going on. But, so I cut it open. I hadn't opened yet. So here we go. I had it upside down apparently. There's a note. Now, I know the book that's in here because he had contacted me first. And it says, Gary, for the ultimate Conan fan, thanks for your content. Thanks for your content. Oh, why can't I read that one? Oh, humor and letting me play on your channel. Mark Andrews. So there we go. Nice little note from Mark. So we'll set that aside. I'll put this in the back of the book that he got me. And some green tape. This, just seeing a peek of this already has me happy. This is great. And I didn't know this existed until Mark Andrews contacted me about it and asked me if I had it in the collection. And I was shocked just looking at it and said, no, I didn't even know that this was a thing. So this is the comic reader. And this was $1.25 back in the day. And this is the original John Buscema version on this cover. How gorgeous is that? So then you have the very first draft to the final draft. And it's just great to have these, compare it. I've never had this book. It's the first time I've held it in my hand, so I can't wait to crack it open and see what Conan stuff is in here. I'm pretty excited about it, actually. But look at that, man. How great of a AOK is that? And this is in perfect shape. So, again, this is from Mark Andrews. Thank you so much, Mark. He's got it in the My Light to protect it. And, fun back cover. Captain Flash. But this is, gorgeous. And I just got to take a look inside. Oh, A Great Bizarre Adventures. I have that issue. And this is, I've never actually read a comic reader, so gonna have to find the part that deals with Conan in here, and hopefully it's fun. But even if it's not, just to have this cover on a comic is absolutely amazing to me. So thank you very much, Mark Andrews. I appreciate you. I appreciate the input you give on my channel, the added quality that you add to my channel. Most of all, I appreciate the friendship. And this is an incredible AOK that is definitely going in my Conan collection. Thank you so much, Mark. And thank you all for coming along on this little journey, learning a little bit about the cover that got me in the Robert E. Howard and comics on a larger scale. I appreciate everyone watching. Thank you guys so much. And until next time, keep it casual.